was during those game 1 early team fights, because there was just no one there to cancel her Mortimer kisses, and with the insane amounts of root that they had on TNC between the chains and the Pit of Malice and the Rod, she was just able to get like full duration ultis off and kill people constantly. So TNC not having to ban Nyx and being able to pick Snapfire is like such a huge asset for them.
10 seconds.
Yeah, totally. I completely agree. I think that Nyx is going to be. I'm wondering if TNC are going to ban it now, because I still think that you could take it yourself if you wanted to, as much as it would be kind of weird. But regardless, we'll have to see. Centaur taken as well, so they're at least able to run away from fights, which is nice. And
I like how you're already assuming it's gonna be a defensive oriented trap from Reality Rift. I think you're on the right wavelength.
You're not wrong. I mean, it's kind of the way that it just looks to me right now, based upon what like the last game turned into. Maybe it was crazy. Maybe it's gonna be something where they can just like put up team fight that's strong enough that like if TNC try and fight into them, lose 5-0. Maybe that's the other option. I don't know. It's a weird one.
Predators turn to pick.
TNC gonna ban out Bane, so they are seeming to want to put a strong emphasis on lane dominance yet again. Well, actually, I say yet again, but in game 1, as I mentioned, there did not seem to be much of a laning phase whatsoever. Legion Commander definitely a strong laner and strong dispel, so they can not really be too concerned about this chain disable potentially coming out from Rubik with the telekinesis, hoof stomp, and then whatever Rubik may steal. Granted, flip side, you also are playing Legion Commander into a Rubik, and it'll be very, very difficult not to give away press the attack.
That's the suddenly you're, or otherwise it might not have been. What are they gonna opt for? I feel so bad for my wife. I'm trying to sleep in there. She's got work tomorrow. Dogs just will not stop barking.
I can only very barely hear it. I think maybe the frequency that they're at like doesn't penetrate the walls quite as much to your microphone.
Yeah, a lot of hard work went into happen. Not really at all. No.
Wait, is
so let's see.
Corkboard thing not sound absorbing behind you?
That's not a
corkboard. Is it a
no,
map?
It's a map.
Oh, it's a map. Okay.
So at our wedding, we had our friends and family put down like little pins of where.
And how many have you gone, and how many have she not been able to come with for?
A decent amount of them, but she's actually traveled pretty extensively.
Okay.
She's actually been to a couple countries I haven't been. Real.
Dire team pick.
I don't really pay attention. Pug
That's what the pins are for.
Exactly. We got the Pug now, and then we got the deep TNC. So they've got right now.
I wonder if that's why they banned out the Bane, is because they didn't want people messing with Nightmare. And then Reality Rift just like, well, screw you. We'll pick something else to mess with your duel. Oh wait, sorry. Yeah, they don't want anything to mess with the duel like Bane Nightmare would have. And so Reality Rift go for a Decrep with the Pugna, but they pretty much have to turn it into a mid laner because there's no way Centaur is going to be anything other than the 3. And it could be a 4 Pugna, but then you have a 5 Rubik. And so both of those are not really great flex options, so it seems pretty obvious that it's going to be a mid Pugna playing into a most likely mid deep.
Yeah, I mean, we did see the Boomy Pugna 4, agreed, but and I think that I have seen a couple of Rubik 5, but it feels like the most obvious explanation, like you said, just the mid Pugna, especially since they already have that gyrocopter gets taken, trying to match the tempo from this being out. I'm already envisioning the team moving into it, trying to take down a tower, and then Gyro needing to make a rotation, and then like level 6 drop the ulti or something. You know what I mean? Something like that.
And I'm also curious if Gyro... Okay, so... I feel like I'm typically seeing Gyro in this region with Io, and not so much without Io. But in other regions, Gyro seems to be a relatively popular... Well, the only other region in Americas, but it seems to be a relatively popular carry. Evil Geniuses is picking it a fair amount.
5 seconds remaining.
Quincy Crew as well. So
Dire
I
team
guess it's a good carry in its own right, but to me in this region it seems surprising to have it be selected without the IO when there are still plenty of other options available. And I don't really know what Gyrocopter's strength is necessarily right now. It may just be they like it against Legion Commander, which is reasonable. Gyro, tons of magic damage versus the Legion Commander, and you don't really need a right clicker very much to give her a bunch of Moment of Courage
10
procs,
seconds
so
remaining.
I imagine that that's what the justification is.
5 seconds remaining.
I can dig it. I can dig it. I think that it's like all of this tempo that I think Reality Rift are trying to hit feel like it's go early,
TNC
fight with
Predators
TNC, which to me feels like it's almost like, and Ember fits this bill as well. Also mean probably for Pugna. I think that
So
might be the
Rubik.
Yeah, again, it's I don't. To me, they think it again. It feels like it's not necessarily the mentality that you want to have playing against a bounty hunter. Fight, fight, fight.
10 seconds
I don't know.
remaining.
I don't know, man.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't like Pugna would have been fine, Death Prophet, and I think that, or they also could do 4 Ember, but either way, it still has to be a 5 Rubik though.
To your heart out, fanatic. I guess it could depend on what the matchup is, man.
Well, it'll. There's no way it's not going to be Death.
There's been 1 or 2 safe lane DP, and it's better against Centaur than like most other ones 'cause you get more heal off of it. They like felt like they didn't want
True.
the matchup mid for whatever reason, but I agree that the most likely thing. I mean, we just now before Pugna the 5 Rubik. I don't like my hands are off the wheel.
You're right.
The analysis.
You're right.
It's like who knows what's gonna happen here.
Let's see.
Templar assassins
Okay,
your
you're right.
hero.
Safe lane DP.
I don't know, man. The fuck's happening? Wait, no, it's safe lane.
Oh, safe lane TA.
Yeah. Because that makes more sense.
Because that makes more sense.
All right, TNC, let's go. I'm down. Whatever. They can. I'm excited to watch this game.
This has to be just because they want to abuse the fact that there's a freaking 5-position Rubik. I don't think there's any other reason why you would pick Templar Assassin as your 22nd pick safe lane carry.
Gabby's gonna play at mid this. Swap up the lane.
Okay,
10
I mean, yeah,
seconds
because I
remaining.
agreed with your justification for safe lane Death Prophet because it would
5
be a
seconds
pretty strong
remaining.
matchup versus the Centaur. And I think with the Snapfire, you could definitely get kills on a Centaur as well, so it seemed reasonable, but why the Templar Assassin? Templar Assassin does not seem very good against Ember Spirit, obviously. The Gyrocopter also burns through Refraction very, very quickly. Pugna Life Drain does as well. Rubik can steal traps, and Centaur can give Stampede so everyone can just walk over your traps, so why Templars?
Maybe it's really good against the Pugna Centaur lane. I guess the other thing that they could be thinking. Well, no, I was gonna say that maybe they want to like clear stacks later and try and like play that fashion. But if you have a bounty hunter that want to play with fighting,
Why wouldn't they just go for like a bristleback then?
yeah, agreed. Well, we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out. Tune in.
Mosquito buzz. Ladies and gentlemen, game 2, TNC facing off against Reality Rift after a very solid team performance from TNC in the last game, playing around the track.
Give me the odds.
They were killing it.
Give me the
Want the odds. What do we got here? Looks like they're the same as they were before.
Intriguing.
So, yeah, not much change.
Wait,
at least
what were
at the
they?
beginning.
Prepare for
Are you talking about still from game 1
I'll
or
take
from
it.
before the draft started?
I saw
From before the draft started. 1.44 TNC, 6.7 for reality.
And what were they looking like at the beginning of game 1?
A little bit less than that. So TNC has gained
Okay.
on Reality Rift even more than they were before.
Which would be reasonable, seeing as how they won the game. So, fair. Alright, Templar Assassin. Alright, Templar Assassin. What's your plan here?
Yo, is it Psyblade harass Centaur so he doesn't get retaliate stacks?
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's fine. Or you could just pick Bristle.
I don't know. You're not wrong.
30 seconds to battle.
I guess that the other thing that this is really like, I was thinking that maybe he's probably gonna go blink first on Gabby and try and run around and find kills with Bounty Hunter. That would be one of the things, and like maybe play with KP too, like try and play the pick off style with a TA that has blink early.
I don't know. Safe lane kind of says to me because someone needs to take over the lane. Then someone needs to be farming that lane.
The
Yeah.
battle
And
begins.
who's gonna do it? Because Death Prophet is gonna be wanting to like use her exorcism on demand to push objectives, and in the meanwhile, someone needs to be farming. I think it's mainly gonna be the Legion Commander who's gonna be playing with March, and then TA. I'm guessing it's gonna be that stack strategy that you said, where they're just gonna
Right.
get a bunch of ancients for her. She's gonna mow them down, and then if she gets the Desolator online, then she'll join Death Prophet for exorcism pushes. But I would be
Well-
more hyped to see Blink Dagger first, because then it's going to be the same friggin' 80 kill score game that we saw in Game 1.
Right. Yeah. Right now has the Wraith Band and a Bassi queued up. Get some Psyblade damage out there. It's going to be interesting to watch this. At least so far, Tim's not really going to be able to do that much to help, but he does have the headdress. Also saw March go for the double stacks of Tango, shared some with his mid, and now has boots coming out to him. So boots are going to be online for this bounty hunter. He's blocked in. Interesting. So he's waiting until the creep doubles up by the tower, but he didn't back behind the tower. So this is going to no longer push in. That was very weird. Okay, fine.
Radiance Wave?
Yeah, Radiance Wave is gonna. I mean, the Gyro's doing a really good job. Drew is of holding it right here by this tower. So looks like this is gonna all even out fairly well.
Yeah. I don't know who that... I guess... I don't know if March was trying to go aggressive with that, though. I don't know if he wanted it to... like, stay in the lane so that he could get... Well, he didn't take Janata, actually, so I think, yeah.
Maybe he's just going to do the same thing again now.
This is a massive wave now in front of Drew. And so, yeah,
Interesting.
if he draws this away, then this Gyrocopter needs to be very, very careful. Like, there's so many Radiant creeps here. There's so many Radiant creeps.
This is actually going to be really bad for Drew. Yeah, KP's going to be able to try and bully this a little bit as well. He's already got 1 point in the moment of courage, so
Dude, he
Drew
has to
kind
walk
of has to
so
back out.
far back. He has to go outside of
Yeah.
tower range.
Trading hits. They do have a missile coming to land on KP here. He's got the double rings of regen, just keeping him alive. Nuts, meanwhile, taking through the back row as well. Interesting start to this top lane here.
Yeah, and now March just completely hijacked the wave, and he's chilling. And KP is just like, I want some experience.
You know what's cool about this is that normally this move right here, if you're nuts, you run down and you contest the farm of the bounty hunter. You can't do that if KP is pressuring your gyrocopter with level 2. We're gonna see more teams start to do this. I mean, the only downside to it is that KP gets like maybe a little bit more harassment than he would have otherwise. But basically, you secure that this bounty gets all that experience for himself because nuts can't leave.
It's true. And now he has Janata, he has Boots. He is much more of a threat to this support Pugna than he would have been with just level 1. So not a bad turn of events.
It feels like it's the sort of next iteration of the pull behind the tower
Radiant structures
meme that
are
we've been
fortified.
seeing.
I mean, the only penalty is now KP has had to walk all the way back to the fountain, but someone else is keeping the lane warm, so if the idea is to get this bounty hunter like power level as a position 4, then it's working out.
Tim's, you've been relegated. You're just gonna hang out over here, my buddy. Sorry, man. Don't worry. He'll catch up to you later when you get the bounty hunter gold. Very interesting. because it feels like they've been trying to find more ways to make this bounty hunter work. We think back again to that like just courier sniping that March was doing before, as he is going to get the Janata hit off. Alacrity is, oh my god, are you kidding me? The only one where he lives right there, I think.
He would have lived with Invis too, I think.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Ooh, Tim's is here. Oh, it's a party. There's 6 heroes mid. Alright.
Yeah, nuts. Back up top. Looks like March is gonna stick around for a little bit, but there's a sentry board down, so he won't be able to get too much done. Maybe he can find a courier snipe.
Yeah, he didn't try to draw aggro to verify if a sentry was placed though, so if he comes back mid, he may not realize that he'd be vulnerable under vision, but yeah, it's sniping time. Place up this observer ward. There's the courier sitting in the secret shop right now.
I saw that ending from miles away.
I almost feel
Heading
bad.
over here. A little bit of trash talk back and forth from Gabby. Quietly been able to have a very nice lane for himself, although Centaur slightly better.
Of course, the bounty hunter gets take that name lightly.
That should help.
Yeah, and Hustle's like, yeah, all right, I'm just gonna take that one. Blackity telling him that he wasn't gonna be able to get it, slowed down by that bounty. And March still trying to make his life a little bit of hell here. Popping that Janata. Very frustrating. Armel could have thought about going in there, but not deciding to go all the way.
He's got the siege creep wave. Whoa, you gotta be careful there, buddy. You just took a bunch of damage from that nether ward.
Yeah, he did. Okay.
Whoa, he really wants to get a siphon off. They're not giving it to him.
Chase afterwards, he gets the siphon off. Hustler might be in some trouble here. He's gonna get ran down by these ghosts. Spooky ghosts. First blood.
Oh, Armel.
I mean, it's a very different game. Yeah, he does go down to the tower. And meanwhile, back over here, they take down Tim's as well. So first blood goes to TNC, but it comes at a cost.
What? Illusion. That is not how you want to spend your first exorcism. Yeah, I mean, tier 2 towers hurt a lot, and so he ends up going just barely into range for it. And yeah, I mean, the Hustler, I think, is more than okay with that, trading his life for that, as now KYXY actually getting very, very low.
Yeah, stuns up now. KYXY was able to turn it back around onto Gabby, almost finding the kill. Back away afterwards, has the level 6, can maybe start to play aggro with the traps. Interesting game.
Interesting. Scratching my chin. Interesting.
What the play is though, like, I guess you just still try and group up around this DP, making moves around the map.
Yeah, I think it's pretty. Both teams, for Radiant, they are just gonna wait until this TA completes her first major item, and then once she does that, then you're just gonna play around exorcism
Dire's
timings,
top tower is
and
under
then between
attack.
that, you're going to have Bounty Hunter and KP be hunting people in the jungle. And then for Reality Rift, it's basically just make Gyro as gigantic as possible. That's the only name of the game. And it's not as risky as the Alchemist game because Gyrocopter can actually fight earlier on, whereas the Alchemist was just like, please leave me alone for 13 minutes.
Yeah.
March.
Well, they knew he was over here, and he is going to get punished. Does not have another invis, and that dusts on him anyways. Drew finds that kill. They're spotting out KP right now that there are creeps nearby, and it looks like Gyro doesn't really point in to take those yet. He needs the 1 point flat can right now. I think that that's going to become another point of contention, maybe even around this next exorcism of Armel's.
Radiant are scanning.
I don't know if Bounty was able to spot it. Do you know if he was able to spot
He
it?
did,
Okay.
yeah. He did spot both of them.
Then yeah.
Yeah, they're going for it.
Their team is more than capable of it. But again, like I would prefer Armel to be using Exorcism to be taking towers. If they really want to rotate for it, then Templar Assassin's the best hero suited for the task, but she's taking her own stacks right now and gets 2 tier 1 items. Tim's will scoop up. Is it going to take one of... Yeah. Oh wait, no, he used it on Gabby. What a player Tim's is. He used the jelly onto Gabby and then sends it back to base or someone else. What a sweetheart.
And they get a shovel.
They get a shovel.
Like the shovel. Where'd the shovel go?
I think TA's... Oh yeah, where'd it go?
It was underneath the corpse of that Thunderhead lizard. Oh, here we go. Yeah, they picked it up afterwards. So meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Reality Rift taking down these other stacks. March trying to soak up whatever experience he can. They do have have no boards in the area. That one is just now going to get spotted. March could think about going back up. They have dust available on nuts if they want to use it, but March is just going to take down this observer ward and then back out of there afterwards.
Radiant
Now
structures.
Carmella's here, and there's still a bunch of creeps here, and there's still nuts here. Oh, that's just a lot of shuriken
Goes down.
damage.
Is under attack.
I mean, Drew doesn't have ulti right now, actually, so he can't really do all that much. With Hustler nearby, they didn't see his cooldown earlier, though, so that means that he can kind of bluff it out,
Yeah.
back out.
And Ember Spirit's helping out to finish up the creeps. Although, he's now TPing to this outpost. Ooh, this could definitely catch TA by surprise. Oh wait, never mind, TA's not even there. Oh wow.
Yeah, it's just
TA is... He's pushing this tower. Right, Stampede mid.
Yep, they got Tim's here. Carmel still living through it, has 15 sick charges, pops it afterwards, and they force back Alacrity and the rest of Reality Rift. Clear through the wave, and up top lane, as you said, TA takes down the tier 1 tower. So trading off tier 1s, nothing really to write home about there. Stacks have basically been cleaned up, and then in the meantime, March was able to get one of those bounty runes as dust comes out, and he eventually is going to go down here. Like,
So a fraction of the kills, but way more objectives being claimed compared to game 1. As yeah, both tier 1 towers are taken systematically on opposing sides of the map, and yet it's only a 7-kill game.
right. And not at all the pace. But then again, like, this could be the way that it kind of goes, where suddenly things start popping off again, just because of, like, you know, needing to get your track on Bounty Hunter online now, and wanting to play around with the Exorcism, be like a Blink Dagger later for Legion. I don't know. I guess that the Ember really does help to set that tempo, though. Not having Ember Spirit is going to make it a lot harder for TNC to do the same thing they did last game.
Yeah, I don't know if Templar can fulfill the same thing. The one thing that I will say that Templar maybe does slightly better than Bristleback in this particular chap is they will be able to take Roche much earlier. And so if they are going to be able to accelerate with that, then that would be a fantastic timing for them to work around. If they can get the Roche once TA completes the Desolator, maybe even spend Exorcism for it, then that would be a very early spike, as Reality Rift are all just camping around this mid-tier 1.
Stampede available as well as call down. They're ready to go with all of them. KP is there with the press the attack and throw it out. Is it going to be keeping them alive? No, not at all. And in fact, KP is the one that might be in trouble. Well, they kill off Tim's as well. So both go down. And as you said, Reality Rift, they are the ones who can definitely fight.
Alright, well, Templar's actually coming mid.
Okay,
Oh, they're all coming mid.
slow down. Reality Rift. Be careful. They have duel available.
KP
Press the attack.
He has maxed out press the attack, so even overwhelming odds isn't like that much to discourage them. But they, oh, I guess they had no creep wave regardless, so they back off. Still managed to successfully kill off the Death Prophet and draw the Templar Assassin back to the mid lane.
I think it's what you're talking about, though, of like later on being able to get a really fast Roche. If KP has pressed the attack maxed out and then Gabby gets his Deso done, they could just like smoke in and steal that so quickly.
Yeah, and then just make the Death Prophet gigantic between her Spirit Siphon and then press the attack behind her, then she's going to be very difficult to kill. And she's going for a Yule's as well on Death Prophet.
That's an interesting build from KP. Like, obviously super fight, or rather team oriented, but 140 attack speed is pretty insane.
Yeah.
We'll see. Said 1,000 gold lead for Reality Rift, who are up 7 kills to 2. A much less quick gameplay. We've been not quite able to get there with the Scatter Blast onto Nuts. Alacrity, very comfortable hero, the Ember Spirit here, and he's going to be going for Aghanims after Maelstrom.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's not something that I've been seeing second item on Ember Spirits very often.
Is under attack.
It will be very, again, irritating for a one-position Templar Assassin to have to deal with, who doesn't have the Desolator completed, and like Armel has not been able to use any exorcisms. He got the first one off and then died to the tier 2, and then since then he's just never found a good opportunity. If they smoke into the, I think they can get away with this.
It feels like Reality Rift are like so aware of what's happening right now. Gabby has the.
Oh, did he get the? Oh, he got the invis on Alacrity. Did you see that or no?
No, I didn't. No. It sounds good.
He did the 6 sleight of fist onto the enemy mid and then pick it up while you're on top of them.
Dire are scanning.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I guess that they just want to try and out farm him this game. Is that the plan? Like,
But then
it
why
feels like
pick Templar Assassin?
yeah, I don't know. But TNC find like they're not comfortable yet. They want to try and wait till they get their next tier of items before they go for any type of big push. Gabby's gonna clear through these ancients now, and both teams just super content staying on their own side of the river. They're over here and then hanging out over on that side. My drawing skills are impeccable.
Smoke.
Direction, March there to break it. Breaks it onto everybody. Stampede used. They're found. Kill got. The bounties are going to, their TNC get 2 on the bottom half of the map.
Their smoke immediately popped as soon as KYXY was revealed. Decided to stamp. Yeah, bounty on her. So they can take this tier 1 tower. Unfortunately, they can't take Roche themselves. No one has a medallion on their team. They don't have any minus armor for Roche, and they're not really at a stage to do so. But that's a solid objective to take. And now KYXY has a blink dagger, so that's getting delivered on the courier. So even though Stampede is down, they still might use this reveal to get a surprise
Dire's
kill on
bottom
someone.
tower is under attack.
Absolutely. See if they, I mean, again, there's no real sense of urgency right now, which I'm not sure who this favors. Because, like, yes, Gyrocopter, terrifying in the laking, along with the Ember
Radiant's
Spirit,
middle tower
but,
has
like,
fallen.
it does kind of, I always have that worry that you're gonna get out of control on a TA and just let her farm and get whatever she wants, and then she can like instantly blow up one of your cores, right? And they have the lockdown to do that too with this Legion Commander.
Yeah, but they have Pugna, and the Decrepify is going to be like so good. At most, you can hope that Tim's is going to get a bunch of kisses on the dual target and be able to penetrate the Decrepify. But no matter how big Templar Assassin gets, she can't force you to not be Decrepified. I guess if she gets a Nullifier, yeah, that's the only thing. But
oh my god. Dude, he's going Aghanims. What the fuck is Gabby doing? This guy's crazy.
All right, first let him get the BKB. Once he gets the point booster, then I will be ready to commit. A quick buy, talk is cheap, all right? Quick buys are cheap.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
But I'm glad you made me aware of it, though.
I actually love the Aghanims if he can get it off in time. Press the attack there to save. Armel, here at Siphon, dodge away. KP gonna be controlled. He came in to save his Death Prophet. He ends up losing his own life, and now there's no save for Gabby. Blick away. That's enough to keep him alive. Now stealing Mortimer's kisses. Hustler has it. Holding on to it for the moment. There's the turnaround. Gobs of goo, of terrifying energy, and Mortimer going to punish his master as he hands over the keys to the car to the Coral Rubik. Man, that was, I don't even know, man.
Armel's being so conservative with Exorcism. They were pushing the mid-tier 1. Templar Assassin had the corruption on it, and he's just never using Exorcism.
Yeah, it's a weird game right now. And I mean, Reality Rift are super happy with all of this. As Silence is there, jump forward, one shot, two shot, not there. Couldn't quite get it. They almost took down Alacrity there. Are they just gonna go into the pit now? Is that the play?
I guess so. Stampede is down for a minute and a half. The scan does confirm that they're taking it, but I don't really know if they can challenge this. Mortimer Kisses is not up for another 50 seconds on the Rubik, and that's just
breaking the blink dagger right now from KYXY. He can't get in, and now suddenly TNC show up to the fight. They jump forward. Gabby trying to bring down Nuts, almost kills off Hustler. Doesn't quite manage to get both of them, but as the continued chase comes out, I mean, they just suddenly decided they wanted to play and took Roche, and now going to get an objective afterwards.
Dire's middle tower.
This is an exorcism. Yeah, they take a team fight, a tower, and an Aegis.
Dire's middle tower. has
Exorcism.
fallen.
And Gabby, with a very, very fortuitously timed double damage rune, also makes that happen in quick succession. So, wow, huge spike in the direction of a team that was kind of stagnating for TNC. The graph just like bounced up from like 3K in Reality Rift's favor to less than 1K.
Yeah, this is the turnaround that, you know, we knew kind of could happen with the bounty hunter again.
Radiant's
Yeah.
bottom tower.
I think
is
that
under
that's one of the
attack.
other things that we really need to keep in mind, I guess, is that bounty needs a little bit of time before he really comes online. Last game was a bit of an arbitration because they had to sort of punish before the out came online. And now, you know, with just those 2 kills, they're back up to basically 0 again. 20 minutes coming up. Outposts being held 1 apiece.
Good stand by March. He scans out right a little bit above him and confirms that they were going to contest this outpost. So it'll be a 1-1 split. March
Radiant's
cannot get
bottom
greedy,
tower is
but
under
now
attack.
top tier 2 is going to get pushed.
Dire's top
Will they be able to
tower
take
is
it before
under
Thor comes back online? Yes.
Like, yeah, so they'll finish that one off. And bottom lane, tower also taken. So trading off the other half of the map yet again. We're going to have to wait and see if there's any type of, you know, sort of trade-off as this game goes later. Alacrity's cutting this wave so that TNC can't get any more split push going.
Dire's
1-to-1
top
trades are
tower is
favoring
under
Reality
attack.
Rift, though, 'cause they are
Dude.
an Aegis down right now, so I'm not really sure if Gabby's just going to use this as a farming Aegis. Wow. I mean, he still has the Ags in the quick buy. It still has.
Have you seen it yet? Have you messed around with it at
I
all?
haven't seen the buffed version, because I know he got some buffs in 7.25B. I think the cooldown got reduced.
Yeah. No, the travel time is lower as Snapfire is going to go down. So I was doing some theory craft and messing around with this. There's a couple cool things that you can do with it. One is that you can actually travel to other traps while you're melding. So it's like a save also, where you can like meld, hide, transmute over to another trap. It pops obviously when you land on it, but it's a really it's a little bit better than it used to, where you can like now double meld out of trap if you see somebody coming forward.
But double melding is old to me. Every Templar assassin
Yes.
knows that you
Yes.
like double melds happen once every 50 games or something like that.
But it's like a techie's trap almost now, like
It
where
is.
if you have like this trap, for instance, in the mid lane, right, and then you see somebody walking down a creep wave towards it, you can like time out when they're going to be there
True.
and then come out of it. So it makes it more possible than it used to be at the very least. I don't know if it's going to end up working or not, but I want to see it.
It all sounds great. I just my concern is who carries the game for TNC.
Radiant's
Is
top
that
tower
are they
is under
capable of
attack.
just assassinating their way to victory? Because if so, that's going to be a very
Dire's
Maybe.
flashy
bottom
way to
tower
win.
is under attack.
I'm hoping that they are, because I want to see it, dude. If he buys the point booster right now, sell your wand. Let's go. Come on, Gabby.
Radiant's top
Believe in
tower
you.
is under attack.
He has an Imp Claw, which is a pretty great
Dire's
item for
bottom
this
tower
strategy.
is under attack.
Yeah,
Dire's structures are
super
fortified.
cool.
And they're just not fighting, which is again, it's great
Yeah.
for Reality Rift. This is a team that they don't have the Aegis. Okay, Armel's TPing now, because they can't lose 2 tier
Radiant's
2
middle
towers for the
tower
price
is
of
under
1.
attack. Dire's bottom tower is under
They did
attack.
get some good damage up there, though, rather on the mid
Dire's
one.
bottom tower has fallen.
Up on the high ground, Alacrity, Carmel, they'll stomp onto him, immediately taken off. And afterwards, they'll still control, cooking it away. And there's the BKB double Spirit Siphon chase down, and the winner for KP. Hustler?
The Yules.
Oh no, he's gonna get caught now. Yeah, in some trouble. Hustler goes down, and another track gold.
And now Nuts is getting slowed by all these traps. He can't. Like,
they get him
look at
too?
the Skelly boy trying to go. Run, Skelly boy, run! Run, Skelly boy!
Yeah, and they wait for the freaking track to come in afterwards and manage to get the just one shot afterwards.
Right, Gabby has 2.7k gold. You're theoretically kind of close to being able to siege high ground. Do you want to risk it for the Aghanim's biscuit? He did it! Oh, what a player!
Oh my god, what a memer. This is gonna be great. I'm not taking my camera off of Gabby. This is gonna be very, very funny to watch. See if it
Radiant's
works.
top tower is under attack.
Alacrity in the meantime, making sure he doesn't get caught out. Pushes out the wave, then TP out of there.
Probably gonna complete this TP. Nice. Man, I'm so hype. So hyped for this Aghanim Scepter. In my power rank, it was only viable as like a synth or the Blessing Ags.
Right.
I did not think it was viable as a build Ags, especially not this early on in the game.
Right.
Oh,
You'll get your courier killed.
courier.
All right, so he's got it.
He's got it. He revealed it also. He's straight up in the lane showing.
Over to the
"Check out
side
my
though.
Ags."
They're gonna lose the KP Legion Commander, so he goes down.
He has no trap. Okay, so what kind of traps? They're all peppered out throughout this eastern jungle. And then he has one inside of his
Radiant's
own jungle.
top tower is
And
under
guess
attack.
what?
Middle tower is
All
fallen.
Dire are nowhere near that. Dire are about to siege high ground with Drew's.
Yeah, that's actually a much better Aghanims. With the
Gabby's going
Satanic,
in.
that's a big one.
They're just
Okay.
racing.
Links out, and he's able to force him back.
Radiant's
All right,
top
fine.
tower is under attack.
Gabby, in the meantime, is going to TP back home. The cool thing about this is that he is going to be able to come back and split push really effectively. So I guess with Boots of Travel being gone, wait, he jumped over. He came back to his trap. They found KYXY and nothing happened. Now the double trap break, and he get him. It doesn't look like he's going to get the bounty runes at least. Is this the, like, he doesn't have a TP anymore. He's like, I don't need TPs anymore.
Well, how does he plan on
traps.
getting back to his side of the map? Like, it's kind of like an Ember Spirit now. You need to place your, quote, remnant at safe locations. He has, so you have 11 traps total. So 11 remnants, effectively, is what's happening here. Gabby is playing Templar Spirit.
That's pretty hype. I like it. Yeah, it's gonna be hard trying to follow his moves where he goes around the map, but maybe like putting a trap in the fountain is the play as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say that every single time you go back to base, you should always like park one there and then go in and out. Right now, he's like, there are a lot of green dots all around the map, and he's only using 10 charges. Okay, that's his 11th charge spent in the mid lane now, so he's all maxed out. Now, granted, these are also remnants that can die. Whenever Rubik gets a gem, if they ever get a gem, then all of a sudden this Aghanim Scepter becomes kind of useless.
Yeah, that is a problem. Granted, it's on a 5-second cooldown, so you could even like do one at the start of the fight to sort of get out of there. But I think, yeah, probably the like traps back at home and then traps out here to split push are going to be the two things that you look for from TNC would be my guess. But it's 2 seconds, right? Oh, it's only 1 second channel time. See, I got buffed even more. It used to be the 2 second channel.
Also got buffed back to back. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Down.
Goes down. Roche potential to respawn very late. It's a very late Roche respawn, so that kind of sucks for Reality Rift because I think they have a fair amount of map control right now. But then again, I don't know how you gauge map control against a Templar Assassin.
Yeah, it's a weird one. The other thing is that if it just turns into like a 5-on-5 fight, like you have 4,200 gold that does basically nothing for TA, right? This has to be like all about maneuverability, outthinking your opponents, out like gaming them basically early on. Because I mean, this is, you know, the gyrocopter zags is actually like super useful in the fight. Opposed to not useful at
As
all.
opposed to not useful at all. Yes, that is. Those are the two sides of the coin that we're looking at here.
Yeah.
And it, like, Templar traps just push kind of inherently. That's why she kind of came back into the meta, and that's why the side trap talent, the side trap damage talent had to get nerfed so many times, because like you didn't need to show up. You just pop the trap and it would basically kill
Oh, they find the Rubik in the back lines. KYXY, they're not going to be able to get the Stampede out of there, in fact, because they got the cookie onto him. AP will die, but Gabby, running down the Centaur, finds that kill afterwards. Double buyback, because they know that Roche is capable of respawning. Chains only hits onto the Death Prophet as Gabby clears through another wave. Exorcism Pop, Drew in some trouble. They got him caught. Do they have enough for the kill, though? The chase down coming in. The heal, not enough from that Death Prophet. And Gabby looking for more, blows nuts up and chasing for another round. He
used a teleport.
He missed it.
Did he cancel the channel?
No, he did nothing. Oh my god,
It's on cooldown.
it doesn't matter. They got the kill in the end. Triple kill for Armel. It's all because of the Axe, baby.
Oh, he went to
She
Alacrity.
can come back. This is pretty cool.
So he's
She comes
losing
on
the
back to try and take out Alacrity. Yeah, that's the problem. Throws out another one. Another couple of seconds. If she sees Alacrity, she can go.
Okay, so how did he mess up the one in the mid lane as they were trying to kill the Rubik? What
He
happened?
was channeling, and he must have hit a button to stop the
okay.
channeling. That's the only thing that I could think of.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if that's what happened or not. But that's what it looked like happened.
Okay, reasonable. Gotta buff it now. 7.26. Psionic projection scepter ability cast time reduced from 1 second to 0.5 seconds. I'm calling it now.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have a trap
walk
in the
back
pit,
in?
but he has a trap very close to the pit, and he's gonna channel it
Coming
up.
back.
Nice.
See, that part of it is kind of cool, right? Because you can always be split pushing and then show up whenever you need to. And now, like, if Gabby needs to buy back, she can channel back to this trap in pit too, in the midst of a fight.
Yeah, it's reasonable.
So 8,000 gold lead now as we are getting wildly ahead for TNC. They get the second Roche of this game. Feeling mighty good about themselves for the moment. Gabby. Remnants just throwing the Ember all around the damn place. Does back out of there.
Oh, Ember is ending up opting for the Shivas before the Aghanim Scepter. He did have the Aghanim Scepter queued up earlier, right? The Ember?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's decided to stop off for the Shivas instead, which is more than warranted against the ludicrous amounts of physical damage that TNC have and the minimal amounts of magic damage that they have.
We're going to next for these guys.
These guys? I only care about what Gabby's going to next.
That's fair. That's a pretty fair moment. I mean, I think that the Reality Rift draft, like, it still feels very strong to me if they can get to the late game.
I have minimal confidence in TNC right now. I think that if they win this, they're just the better team. I don't think they're winning because of any other factor, other than, I would say, the Bounty Hunter. By virtue of the Bounty Hunter draft, they can kind of get away with this, but
Right.
that I am not really encouraged by. Like, freaking, let's put Beaks in the backpack because that's right. She moves around so slowly. But even if she does manage to teleport on someone, she'll be able to stick them very well.
Yeah, you got to get like a blink on or something. You're going a little bit robot-y on me right now as well. We'll see if that continues. We can like change the server or something, but it should be fine. No. It's for lag. Under a mango tree? That should be a love song. The Dota love song. Under a mango tree. Yeah.
Under the tree.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking of. Yeah, from Little Mermaid. There you go. Well, Gabby jumped over onto the trap. Very quickly forced Alacrity back in base. Later. And now, after Gabby gives away the Imp Claw, picks up the Daedalus for herself, so the crits are much bigger. It looks like they're trying to bait this out right now, see if they can get the TA to go onto these traps when Alacrity's there. Gabby shows up. Clear through the wave. They could try and jump here if they wanted, but BKB on Gabby, and they just don't have enough burst damage right now to kill her off.
Especially because, I mean, BKB Aegis, the rest of the team will be able to convert on your location very, very quickly. I will say, of all the heroes bootless, Templar Assassin is one of my favorite to watch bootless, because it looks like her arms are just so heavy. Whenever she's walking around, she's like, God damn these goddamn side blades. Because Medusa just kind of like slithers around very slowly and looks funny.
Yeah.
But this one, like, you don't see very many bipedal heroes walk around without boots.
It's like that exercise when you're like pulling ropes behind you and you're trying to run.
Exactly. Like carrying a
That
truck
type of thing.
behind you or something like that.
Exactly. He's been hitting the gym. All right, jump forward again. Reality Rift just trying to... I mean, the thing that's so hard about this now is that it feels almost impossible to split push against this team.
Yeah.
Like, the waves are always going to be pushing out. So Reality Rift just really can't leave their base unless they feel like they can take a fight. And right now, clearly, they don't want to fight into the Aegis.
Which they only need to worry about that for one more minute. And I don't really know if TNC can force them to fight. I I don't think they can.
No, it's tough. But again, you look over the past couple of minutes, and the net worth lead is becoming more and more pronounced. So eventually, if Reality Rift aren't hitting any of their big timing soon, probably Drew BKB would be the next thing they'd be looking. But besides that, like, you kind of do need to make a move if that Aegis does go down. Otherwise, you're just going to be behind. Game goes on. See if they try and make that move is out for Gyrocopter, if they even wait a little bit longer. But they got the meld bash now, 25 on TA.
They're smoking up. They got 30 seconds left on the Aegis.
It was so hard to kill. They break
Bounty
the smoke
pops
there.
it. Sent.
Done by March. There's Drew breaks it afterwards. They've got track.
Teleports in.
Oh my god.
One shot.
One shot Tusla takes him down. The Mel Bash afterwards. The stun is going to land there onto TA, but still hanging onto that Aegis for another 7 seconds. Armel gets that Yule Scepter lift up. No silence for afterwards. PP barely going to be able to miss that duel. They go forward. Mel back. Going to connect. TA goes down. That was the Aegis expiring right as she died. She's not happy about it.
He can buy back and teleport to one of these traps.
Oh, that's such a... Oh, I don't know if they want to do that, though. Maybe they could. Maybe they're going to get a little bit antsy, and they can think about turning here. It's really hard to take this fight. Can they kill her down? There's the cookie. Buyback still available. TA's coming in. Where's the trap? She's over on the fight. One shot again, and got the spill damage onto KYX. Swipe blows him up afterwards. It's a slowdown on the group.
Best X 2021.
Let's freaking go. Another kill. TNC, they make it happen.
Oh, she won again, but she can't see anyone.
Oh, right. So the other trap that was inside there. Go decrypt last second. That was really close. Rubik's ceiling duel, but these buildings are starting to fall as 15,000 gold lead. Things feeling mighty, mighty good for TNC in game number 2. Already up 1 game over Reality Rift.
Gyro has buyback, and I don't think they can afford to lose 2 sets of racks.
Definitely, it is. It's hard, and this is such a different bounty hunter game than the last one, where it wasn't kill focus. It was like hitting this timing and bounty, like making some extra space, scouting things out. Like, really impressive showing from TNC in both of these games. I feel like you gotta start banning bounty first phase against them.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, Gyro really does not want to have to buy back now. This is a sunken cost fallacy, but he may lose all 3 racks.
I mean, he's going to. Buyback comes.
18 seconds.
Weren't able to find the silence, but they will lose KP, who's trying to just buy a little bit of space for his team to get out, and they do get out. So they lose tier 3 tower, double lanes of racks. God damn.
Nope.
They throw a creep.
Oh yeah, Tim's his Ags, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, that kind of sucks for Gyrocopter. He is going to be that much further away from completing his BKB, and which I don't think the BKB is going to make that big of a difference, but man, look at all these traps peppering the Dire base.
Oh my god.
I'm so hyped. It's a shame that they weren't able to plant a ward. Have Dire just never bought a gem yet? Because I see a gem on Tim's, and I think that's his gem. Oh, it's March's gem. Yeah, so Dire just like have not bought a gem yet. And that seems catastrophically short-sighted against this Templar Assassin Ags.
Yeah. No, it's true. I think that this is like the type of item that like now if you're, or you have to clear these ones out. It did look like a couple of them gone away. I guess that was TA placing some more of her own and going over the limit.
I think she was popping them on the waves.
Got it. What is she building into next?
She just finished the MK.
Okay, got it. Yeah, so even more damage. Like, if there's anybody that's alone here, like, Hustler is just gonna get one shot.
Yeah.
Like,
and she needed the accuracy against Gyro's Butterfly. And it's possible that KYXI may have eventually worked his way into a Halberd. But instead, he's gonna be going for an Agadams as well on the Centaur. It's just a bunch.
but he getting ags.
But he getting Ags. Oh, yeah, and then Gabby ended up synthing his own Ags as well.
Right. So what, I mean, honest assessment, how good do you think this TA Ags is? We might have to cut you off with it. start of the final fight, possibly.
I am not convinced. I mean, it's cool. She's basically playing like a Spectre, except like a Spectre
Right.
with like an even lower cooldown than Haunt, which is kind of what Spectre's own Ags is like. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of a better version of Spectre's Ags. But aside from that, I don't really see that much of a benefit over just the traps in general. Like the split pushing capabilities are already there with the trap. This smoke is about to time out.
She bought back in that last fight. Would love to be able to get the Aegis here. Alacrity dropping the Remnant, TPing back home to deal with the waves coming out. They clear through those wards. KYXY just going to get clipped at the end of that Shiva's guard coming out. Moving forward for this one. They've got the Lotus Orb. That's going to eventually bounce back and hit Drew. And at that point, I don't know what happens. Oh, Lotus stun comes out, control, and exorcism, and Nuts is trying to keep him alive. This is so much damage coming out from Armel as the chase down is there. No more BKB available. Gabby gonna trap in onto this one. Great throw out with the spit out coming from the, well, stun after the KY. So I mean, he's also just gonna die. And you look over here towards the tier 4 towers, they're going down as Rubik is also going to drop as KP runs in, waiting for that to wear off and kills him as well. Yeah, this is looking like this is just about curtains here.
He's oh no, he's TP scrolling back to base. Man, that's not what I wanted to see. I feel like there's been a real lack of true assassinations. The buyback was sick. I think the buyback was definitely the highlight of the Ags.
Right.
But aside from that, I can't say that I was too impressed with it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just a hater. Sure.
Well, fine. Everybody needs a hater in this world. As Ancient is going to drop, TA continuing to bring down Ancient, throwing some more creeps around every now and then. KP standing tall in front of them, and GG, it'll be called TNC. Take it 2-0 over Reality Red. Done.
I'll give credit to, I think, March's Bounty Hunter the most. And I think Armel also played very, very well.